Welcome to a productivity showcase. I am going to be pair programming, collaborating with free tier ChatGPT, and doing my work, my software engineering work in a Amazon EC2 instance. So there'll basically be three windows that will be bouncing around. We'll have the ChatGPT, Notepad++, well, code snips will be swapped back and forth, also be using to construct the more in-depth inquiries and instructions for ChatGPT, and then a command line terminal to our Amazon EC2 instance. So I fancy building a microservice, and we'll see how far we can get. First thing is I'm going to need Docker service. So we can get some instructions on how to install Docker on our EC2 instance. We have specific information here. Don't really need that. So let's start constructing some inquiries. I need to install Docker service on my Amazon EC2 instance. Details below. Need to be able to build, deploy, and test custom Docker images on the same instance. Most likely I'm already up to date, but there's no harm in doing it. DNF replaces yum. That's as I suspected. I had done some minimal setup of this EC2 instance off camera. Well, we look like we installed successfully. Status. This is all just generic sysadmin stuff. If we enable it that way, if we ever restart our instance, it will be there on, it will start up automatically as part of the system boot. Verify the Docker installation. We already did that. Okay. Okay, so we have to run it as root, as I suspected. Okay, that's good. We have it installed, we just haven't built anything yet. So here we can really take advantage of ChatGPT to help us bootstrap something. I'd like a Docker image. We'll name it MSA. We'll tag it. Microservice alpha. The Docker file should invoke a file named micro-service-alpha.js, which will run a long-lived node process, a HTTP server that listens or requests on a port specified by the environment variable MSA listen port. If the environment variable is not defined, it can be more specific. If the MSA default will be 8080. Two valid URIs to start. 8080 slash, which will redirect to the other valid URI slash heartbeat. Slash heartbeat will respond with a JSON data body detailed in the file templates heartbeat.json.j2. Any other URI besides slash or heartbeat will result. This is a lot for going from nothing, but I'm sure it'll be able to handle it. Will result in HTTP status code 404 not found. Just called this a Node.js file named. So we're going to have a Docker image. This will be the main body of the code. It will rely on some templates. Template content is as follows. We can call it let's not get too fancy. We got to keep it simple. Message service received. Actually, let's just keep it simple. Let's just say I am okay. Suppose we could validate the JSON ourselves. What am I goofing here? You need a colon. And missing. Funny how you screw up simple stuff when you just start recording yourself. Okay, so we're telling it we want to make a Docker image. The Docker image is going to invoke some node. The node is going to just reply with the content of this. Should be replaced. Explain now is a placeholder to be replaced with the current timestamp at time of response generation. See what it comes up with. We're going to have to create a couple different files. Yep. So we can do this. Make dir way explorer. Okay. So templates. Y type, and we can copy and paste. Let's get our heartbeat. JSON file. And here's the meat of the code. Let's just review it. We know it was going to use this. The Docker file, I think that's a built-in library, but if not, the Docker file will install it using npm. We have the MSA listen port, default, beat. So it's doing the I/O against the file. Here's the server, just the two valid URLs. Pretty tight though, it's only 30 some lines. That's why I like Node. Micro-service alpha.js. Node 20 Slim, okay. Node 20 is pretty current. It's creating a working dir. That's fine. We might have to install curl, but this is a great start. So, Docker file, artifact, 1, 2, 3. I don't like how the recording software is placing those top pop-ups right. Maybe I can do this. We'll just lose a titch of real estate. But then that'll keep us from getting too close to the bottom until I figure that out. Docker file. This is great for kind of a bootstrap. No, we still got getting cut off at the bottom. But we have only 3 files so far. But we're doing good. We're running this a lot, so we'll have it in our little notepad cheat sheet. And we want to run as root. I think I goofed the directory structure. Same. Sure, I spelled it right. Server, not service. Did I probably. How dare you do what I told you, not what I meant. Classic software trope. Service, yeah, okay. That's fine. Get your case right, Cuffy. All right, there we go. Build it again. What do you know? Success. So we have our custom container built. Now we can run it, which has already given us the command for that too. See just yet. So this 8080 business means that on the host, 8080 is going to forward to 8080 in the container. Call it microservice alpha. Just called MSA1. Okay. Exited. So it's not necessarily a long-lived process. Something terminated. Sucker. I meant sudo. Was thinking of sudo and Docker and kind of mushed them into one word. Is it Docker logs? Okay, there we go. Cannot find module app. Okay. Well, let's show our partner this. Cannot find the microserver alpha. Didn't change it here. Service alpha. So as you can already tell, this is just raw working footage. This is where the software sausage is made. Rebuild the image. It'll go very fast. Yep. And then actually let's do this. Do Docker ps a do Docker rm That's another one we're going to be using a lot. There we go. Now we shouldn't have anything running, and we don't. Okay, it's running, and it looks like it's continuing to run this time. So now we're ready to, yeah, that was just my misspelling. Access, let's see if we have curl. We do. You don't have to install that, that's cool. I forget what I is. Yep, curl. Variables, where's your arguments? Options. Well, in any case, let's just run it. There we go. So we got our heartbeat, and if we do a junk URL or invalid, 404 not found. Very good. So there's our kind of hello world web server. What is the -I option parameter in the curl? Include. Oh, the headers. Okay, so it's a little bit different than verbose, but I think it's perfect for what we're doing right now. What do we want to do next? We should add maybe some automation or some testing so that if we build, we can just run a series of scripts. It'll make the image, deploy the image, test the image. Get that in the very beginning. Next, I'd like to say sudo automate the building deployment and unit testing of the service. You can let it know that we're getting success here. I'd like a script builds the Docker file, builds the Docker image, specifying a tag argument. In dev by default. Deploys the Docker image. Then executes tests that grade the expected responses. build the Docker image, deploy the Docker image, test, executes test. Let's see what it came up with. Okay. Oh, it even cleans up after itself. That's great. Okay. Now these scripts, if they're inside the Docker work area, these scripts should be outside the Docker container work area. So in other words, if I do tree dot or ls, is it ls dash tree? I'm going to propose that they just go up one level, which is I propose the infrastructure scripts. So you have a better suggestion. So we'll have the scripts one level up. Wrong window. We pasting in there. Oopsie doodle. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And then the scripts have to be adjusted, obviously, because it'll have to, yeah, Docker file dir. Okay. Up we go. That's where all our stuff is. Okay. Build.sh. make it executable, deploy, and test. Now, the one thing it wasn't quite savvy to is the fact that, oh, it does have the sudo. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Build, and we'll call it indev. Image ls. I don't know what this is. Let's ask. Should I be concerned about this second image, which seems to be a clone only untagged and belonging to no repo? Let's see if it's dangling. It is. Let's remove it. Prune is the command. We could just explicitly remove it. So it did do one image. And our ls, okay, nice and clean. Okay, now we do deploy. We don't have. So far, so good. Okay. Now, I'm thinking let's just brainstorm here. We've got slash, which redirects to heartbeat. We have slash heartbeat. Now, what does our service actually want to do? I'm thinking the alpha microservice will handle user access management, all the stuff. So let's add a new URI called add user. And this is where we have to start thinking about our security model. Simple is better, obviously, when you're trying to do a rapid proof of concept. I'm thinking I like the idea of self-service, but we don't want just anyone willy-nilly to be able to add a user. So what could happen is let's have a token generated at deployment. Let's add another URI to microservice alpha. this one will be add user. Requests that invoke this URI will require an additional HTTP header named, let's call it admin API key. Any request that does not, any request against this URI that does not specify the admin API key will be rejected as unauthorized. And we can tell them with the text message. Is unauthorized 402? I can't remember. 402, I think. With the text message, no admin key specified. We won't tell them what the value of the header is. And then for now, let the value of the admin API key be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just watch Spaceballs. Wherever you are, Mel Brooks, love you, buddy. We'll fix that later. And let's put dashes in between. Nation is. The add user request must also be a post, and it must specify 2 parameters in a JSON body. Let's do this. Username. This again we'll have to fix, but we'll just get it working with bad security for now. If the request passes validation, the response will again come from content in templates directory. We can call it templates user add success.json. So our other, we had heartbeat. Let's call this user add success. I'm more in a dash move than an underscore. Okay. Try to be consistent. URI slash user add message. Do we want to nest it? I suppose. So it's the beauty of JSON. Username. We'll think about this later, but we probably don't want to return it in clear text, but we'll just where username is what the requester are what the requester specified in their request input. Similarly, their failure could also be returned, where the message contains the reason. At this point, user ID already taken. So use the same lingo. Username already taken. Is the foremost reason I can think of. So we'll add this. User add failure. User add failure. It's the message name and the message. Already taken. All right, let's see what it comes up with. I'll extend the microservice blah 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 to include the add user endpoint with the specified logic. This will involve checking for the admin API key. It's got the templates. Slash and heartbeat. I had those before. Now this is added. Oh, and that's good too, because it won't. You can't do that without post. No admin key specified, so you don't even get a JSON response. And it looks like it's 401, not 402. And here's the post, getting the body. Then it should be passing. Yeah. Username and the success. Okay, updated templates. And because we have our infrastructure, we're pretty slick here. So let's do this. We're not using a code repo or anything. We'll just let's get into MSA. Let's just do we'll call it phase 1. Yeah, we haven't actually written any of the code yet. We're just having ChatGPT do it, which is fine. It's good so far. Templates. And what did we say? We said user add. Heartbeat hasn't changed. User add success. Just piecing it together. I was expecting to explicitly tell it to add test cases, but I wonder if it already did it. So this is user add failure. It did add. It's changed a little bit. Back we go. Run build. Okay. Run deploy. As it's running. As far as testing, I don't know if I want to just blanket copy. I want to keep all this. So let's see here. Okay. This is fairly new to me. I'm not sure how that checkbox works. We'll copy paste it. Easy enough. Mm, yeah, I want the top style. So observe the difference between these two bash-based tests. The top is grading the expected result, whereas the bottom is not. Can you revise the bottom and all the other add user related tests to be like the top, meaning grade for the expected HTTP code as well as JSON body content, if any. Post, and then do shift, return, add a little verses. Helper function, okay. I like that. Now we just need to integrate our other guys, so we'll call this test 2. Test2.sh. Very good. Okay. Oh, I think we're going to have to do a separate window here. Okay, cat, docker, test, cd. There we go. We want Test number 2 can be check for redirection. Yeah, redirect status equals. So let's see how we can do this. This is test number 2. Checking redirection from slash to heartbeat. Redirect status equals blah blah blah. Check response. It should be 200. And should be redirect status, the variable. And the message should be I am okay. Then we'll test heartbeat itself, which we've already got. Already got that one. Yeah, I'll just stay away from the bottom. So the recording, check heartbeat endpoint, yes, yes. Expected message, I am okay, that's fine. I guess we can check response. 200 is expected code. Again, same thing. Okay. Test number 4. Checking, so he's going to call add user, and there isn't the response. Let's make this up too. Let's call this McCuff off clock, and password will be, let's just add some junk in there. Okay, so that should 401, and no admin key specified. Add user with valid admin key, expect 201 created. Checking add user with valid admin key. Combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that other one didn't really matter, but let's just add. Yeah, it's not really grading the. Well, after a successful run through, we might not be able to do it in Bash. We might have to get something more sophisticated. That's fine for now. Add request. All right, I buy that. Let's see. Actually, we don't have this to do. Type. All right. Ah, 201, but content mismatch. A couple of things failed. Now, is our test wrong, or is our other expected 200 status got nothing? No URL specified. Let's look at test number 2 first. Do that in a separate window. Docker. All right. I can convert numbering right here. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just getting our counting straight. Hmm. 2, 3. I guess I skipped 4. Eight cases. And checking for 440 invalid URI. Passed, yes. Checking redirection from blah to heartbeat. Curl. No URL specification. This, okay, so this, we have something syntactically wrong here. Okay, invalid. This is redirect status. I think I'm missing a valid URL. If I were to cat test regular one, and that was test number 2 in the old one. Just does this. Okay, it doesn't work with the method. So why not just do the redirect URL? We don't have that, that's why. I didn't transpose those variables. And could help with cases 2 and 3. Let's take a look here. Integer expression. Expected ZS200 got nothing. Checking heartbeat endpoint for valid JSON response. 2 and 3 still failing. Let's see here. Right, this is the URL. Let's just run this manually. Please generate the curl command manually so I can run that curl command. That would be generated during runtime. Generate the curl command that would be generated during runtime from the bash code snip below so that I can manually run it. Line 34 is the target. Hence the HTTP status code. Yeah, okay. Also check the response body. So it's the -o dev null. Is what robs us of our JSON response body, correct? Yes, you are correct. Okay. So if we do this, ditch this, voila. True, this wasn't grading all three things, so let's see if we can get test. Actually, what do we need to print? We don't need this either. I don't think so. Yeah. 200 is. No, one thing at a time. Test 2 still failing. So we say code snip, result, give it the code, give it result. And we can also give it this, since that's what we're let us know what we're missing there. Script is expecting the integer, but not getting the curl command. We do need that. Quite have it right. Still not passing the. We'll take a look here. Yeah, why did it add the dash O back in? Alright, let's add some debug here. We're spending too much time on this, but it happens. Yeah, lots of output. Okay, so we're going to valid curl. Right, this is what we got. Okay, redirect URL. Alright, so the redirect status is the JSON and not the. So we need. If we were to just do curl dash I, see here. Predicted status. Okay. So it runs this. Redirect status is a JSON body followed by 200, so it's not going to be able to parse that. And this is just static text. Check response 200, calling this, and then I am okay. Yeah, so that's going to be response is everything. Okay. So this method, like this function you've created, how to work with it with this test case. Since the body are different text structures. You have designed. Okay, well, check response function. You get the credit, but that's fine. Maybe the HTTP status. Both the response and the body separately. So redirect URL. To a file. Clever. Actual body. What is the point of having actual status equals redirect response? What is it grading? Actual status? No, it's grading redirect response. Expected message. Full response. I don't think this is going to work. I don't see actual status being passed to check response. Both the response body and the status code. Status code is at the end, the redirect response. All right, let's just echo this out here. Okay, I think this should be actual status. Let's just say yeah, we're ending up writing more Bash code than we are Node, but I want to get the testing right as we go. I don't like the word actual. Okay. Body. Okay, body is the JSON, status is 200. Didn't, so let's just redirect status, redirect response. Redirect status is blank, so let's just call this status. And how long have we been recording? 90 minutes. We'll stop here, and then I might off camera just try to figure out what's wrong with this grading system. Let's see how does any of it. Let's we're close. Let's make it a little less verbose. I think our service is more or less working. We just so test case 2 we got to look at. So 401 is fine. I think anything that's trying to grade a body, we don't have the correct grading just yet, and we'll figure that out. Maybe we'll have to use something more sophisticated than Bash, but we can pick that up next time. All right.